I just finished riding Parker, so we're gonna go over how I clean my bridle afterwards. So I have my bridle hanging up, I have some soap, I have a towel. You can use sponges too, but personally I always prefer a towel. I've also chosen a white one because it's more satisfying because you can see all the dirt coming off. And then we have a fresh hot bucket of water. So I'm going to start by cleaning my bit. If we take a look at the bit on Parker's bridle, it has a lot of different pieces to it. So the bits that you might more commonly see on your school horse bridles are typically snaffle bits. And those you might be able to just take your towel and some water and wipe off. Since this has so many different joints, I'm going to dunk it directly in the water, trying not to get the leather wet. And I'm going to shake it around in the water a bit to help kind of get some of the gunk off of it. I also, when I'm cleaning my bit, put my noseband up so that it's not in the way. So then I'm going to get part of my towel wet, wring out some of the extra water. I don't have any soap on my towel yet. I'm going to start by cleaning the bit without any soap. So I'm just going to use my towel to go over all of the pieces of my bit and try and get off any dirt or spit or bits of hay or whatnot that might be on there. So it's really important that the horses always have a clean, fresh bit for their ride. And the more we clean our bit, but all of our tack, the less time dirt and other things have to build up, and then it's easier to clean and it takes less time. So now my bit doesn't have any more dirt on it. I'm going to rinse my towel and wring it out most of the way because we don't want to use too much water on leather or else it damages it over time. I'm going to rub it on the soap. You don't need a ton of soap, just a little bit. And personally, I leave my noseband up and I start by cleaning my throat latch pieces. So I'm just going to grip the throat latch with both sides of the towel so that I'm cleaning both the top and bottom part of the leather at once. Now just from my little throat latch piece, this is why I like using a white towel, you can see how much dirt is already coming off there. So that's personally why I prefer using a white towel. You can see all the dirt coming off, which is really satisfying. And a towel is much grippier than a sponge. The sponges just kind of disintegrate. And so that's why I prefer a towel, because it grips and actually pulls the dirt and the sweat off of the tack much more easily. So as you can see, I'm going over each piece of leather several times. Even just with the damp towel, even if there's not soap on all of my towel yet, I just keep going over it until my towel starts to come off clean. So right now, every time that I take the towel off, it's still coming off very brown. So I'm going over it again and again until it starts to come off a bit cleaner. So that's a bit better for my throat latch now, but I could probably keep going even more. I'm going to rinse my towel a bit. I'm going to use the other side of the towel so that I have kind of a clean slate. A little bit more soap. Next, I go to the cheek pieces. You don't have to clean your bridle in this order. This is just how I do it. It's the same thing with the cheek pieces. I'm going to take the cheek piece out of the keepers. If you're careful and you remember what hole it's on, you could even undo it completely to get right around the buckle. But I'm going to at least take it out of the keepers to make sure I'm getting all of the bits of leather. So I'm just going to keep doing all the same things with each piece of leather here, going over it multiple times until my towel starts to come out a bit cleaner. And so we'll fast forward a bit. You won't have to stay here and watch me do each piece of leather. But I'm just going to make sure I show you all the tips and tricks. And then as soon as I've cleaned underneath where the keepers are, I do them back up so that the bridle is done up properly still for the next person. Now on the inside of the buckles, any of the pieces that touch the horse's face is a big place where a lot of dirt and grime builds up. So I like to take a good look at them and use my fingernail to kind of scrape off any extra dirt that I see building up that might be hard to get with my towel. So I'm going to use my fingernails kind of on the inside of any of the buckles. I'm going to use them a little bit on the inside of the noseband and the brow band, because that's often where a lot of dirt builds up. If, again, your tack is cleaned properly after every ride, you won't get that buildup, and then just a towel on its own will be effective in removing the dirt. But unfortunately, we always miss a couple places, or those common places on the inside of the buckle and throat latch and nose band just build up. So then your fingernails are a great tool. So I've just done my throat latch and my cheek piece on this side. We're going to fast forward, but I would just do the same thing everywhere. I would do my other throat latch, my other cheek piece. I would do my nose band and the two pieces that go up around. Then I would move up and do my brow band and my crown piece of the bridle, both sides. Then I do the reins. The reins build up a lot of dirt too, so again, you might be using your fingernails to help scrape off some dirt. I'll bring it closer, but you can see here, hopefully you can see, all of this is light gray. There's lots and lots of dirt on the inside of the reins there, so I'm going to put lots of attention into getting all of that extra grease off. And then once your bridle is all clean, we're going to go over how to figure eight it. So I'm going to take the reins off because they were a bit tangled, and then put them back on so that everything is laying flat. How you would put the bridle on your horse's head. I'm untwisting the reins. So then to figure eight your bridle, you're going to start by taking the nose band, putting it around the reins, and then bringing it back to the front and sliding it through one of the keepers to keep it in place. Then you do the same thing with your throat latch. You take it out, wrap it around the front once, and then you do it up to itself through the keepers. You don't want to wrap your throat latch around too many times, or else that gets your bridle a little bit too tight. It can stretch the leather and get it out of place. So normally just once is fine like this, and it makes a little kind of figure eight in the front, which is why we call this figure eighting your bridle. And then it would be good to put away. You're going to do the same thing with your martingale, again, paying lots of attention to kind of like the joints of it, or anywhere it touches the horse's body, using your fingernails to get any extra dirt off. And the same thing with your saddle, and we can maybe do a different video on your saddle another day. But I hope that helps. The more we clean our tack, the longer it lasts, and the nicer it is for the horse and the next person. So I hope we can all put a little extra effort into cleaning our tack. Thank you.